Unless you've been hiding under a rock, you've heard about the wildfires that burned up Southern California. And it was sad to see all the video footage and pictures from those areas. It's sad. But it is interesting though, to see how much that was covered versus event Helene, Hurricane Helene, the flood as some refer to it in western North Carolina. The wildfires out in LA, you saw it everywhere. You saw it on the news, you saw it in sporting events, players wearing shirts about it. We didn't see that with Hurricane Helene. Anyways, I'm not trying to mitigate or minimize what happened in Southern California. I'm also not here to pontificate and theorize what happened from laser beams to whatever. I'm sure some of you have your theories. Feel free to leave them in the comment section below. But please don't start arguing back and forth. I know some of you might start doing that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. We all can have our ideas and theories that we believe in. But me personally, I am afraid of being a false witness, bearing false report, gossip, things I don't know absolutely for sure about. So I don't try to pontificate on some of those things. But anyways, recently there have been wildfires that have been happening not too far from here, not too far from my family's homestead here. Lately it's been unusually dry, the humidity has been unusually low, and we've had winds, all things which have caused us to be under a fire ban and on watch for the wildfires that are in some of the areas of North Carolina and South Carolina. And with the wildfires not too far away, it's got me thinking for the first time, I really need to make sure our homestead is as fireproof as possible. Make sure that if a wildfire does get closer to us, that we have systems in place to mitigate and minimize the chances of our things burning up. Now, I'm no expert in fire safety or fire prevention, but I do know a few things. For starters, I do know that Zone 1, which is the same in fire safety as it is in permaculture, Zone 1, the area around your home, is a really important area to make sure you keep clear of sticks, leaves, and other easily combustible materials. We have a lot of trees around here, which means a lot of leaves that we have to manage and take care of from time to time. And earlier this fall, the boys helped me with raking and blowing leaves. And there's this one really neat thing that they do with the blower. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I had to try it too. I admit, it feels kind of odd, but the ugly faces that we make while doing this is hilarious. Let's see. Even though we mostly keep the area around our house clutter-free from flammable materials, we do have this area behind the house that I want to tidy up, especially with the wildfires in mind. We got leaves right in here that are a little close to the house and just some other items that could pose a risk to catching on fire. So let's see what we can do here. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. All right, boys. I'm going to work on the leaves. If you guys could go ahead and pick up some of the flammable materials like this wood right here, as well as some of these scrubby bushes that could burn up. Let's go ahead and clip those down. Dusty too. Dry and everything's dusty. Whew.
Hey Dad, the only thing that you can do to this tree is trim it.
Yeah, for now. You're doing a great job. Once the band burn is over, we can burn it up too though, and get rid of it completely.
That has a pipe in it.
Yep. These leaves in a number of ways, from compost to animal bedding. Right now, we use some of this right in here with the turkey. My black artisan turkeys here should be starting to lay eggs again, so we'll give them a little bit of this for some nesting material. I guess if you're thinking the fire safety, ideally, we probably should get rid of these trees one day. They're just a tad close, so not something we're going to do right now, but they're not that far from the house, maybe 20, 30 feet or so. All right, found some more stuff over here?
Yep.
All right, good job. Oh, see that there? That there? Do you know what that is? Josiah probably knows what that is, right?
Yeah, it used to go on the yurt.
Sure it did. This right here is the original siding that we had on our yurt. Well, at least a part of it. And I'm saving it to maybe use one day just for something else fun. Maybe the boys can do something with it. But a few years ago, we replaced the canvas siding here with hard siding. And the hard siding that we have on our yurt is actually fire resistant. But even though it's fire resistant, I still will do my best to make sure we have things cleaned around the house, just to reduce the chances of anything else getting caught on fire. Thankfully, we kept making progress back here, but I did run into a decision that I had to make with all these leaves going into my compost. Hey.
Hey.
Have you done the cow yet?
I have not moved her yet today.
Great, because I need a favor.
What's that?
I need you to harvest some manure for me. That sounds weird.
What every girl wants to hear.
So we're back there behind the house, cleaning up, trying to just make a fire barrier between our house and the woods. Cleaning up these leaves, harvesting these leaves, and I got a bunch of carbon in here, and I need some fresh, hot manure. That sounds creepy.
Fresh, hot manure. It's a little different than the hot and now donuts, isn't it?
I like compost, but it definitely doesn't make me think of donuts. Would you please harvest some manure for me while you're tending to the cow?
Oh yay, I get to be a shoveler.
Well, I appreciate it. And you can use these. I have a bucket system. We have blue buckets for water. We have yellow buckets for layer feed, orange buckets for broiler meat bird feed. And then we have these black buckets here that we use for compost, manure, all that fun stuff. So here's these. There's those. Alrighty. I think 2 should be enough, don't you?
Well, I mean, I don't want to shovel more buckets than this. So, yeah, 2's enough for me. We normally don't get a lot of fires here, especially in our area of North Carolina, but I think the past several days it's reported there was like 100 and some fires in North Carolina, which is kind of crazy. And the closest one was in Yurt National Forest, and that's like 35-40 minutes from here. I know you want your alfalfa. You're just gonna stand here and stare at me until I give it to you. Or you're just gonna have to wait.
With homesteading, burning stuff and using the fire is something we do on a regular basis. Thankfully, before the fire ban was in place here, we were able in our garden, which is zone 2 or 3, to burn up some old vegetation that we had here. I'm glad we were able to clean that up because it's not too far from our home. But also use the fire to burn up any livestock that have died. Like not too long ago, I had to sadly burn one of Salah's goats that had died. I prefer to burn than bury it just because there's more of a chance of another animal digging it up and eating it. So burning them just gets rid of them completely, just back to the ground, and I'm able to use the ash in the garden in various places. But also in our garden here, we've been working on tidying it up and cleaning it up for the season. We had this one area along our fence line, the back fence line of the garden, where we were just storing stuff, and we had plastic and tarps that the wind had just kind of blown around, and it was messy. And plastic and things are also flammable materials. I didn't want any of that catching fire and then blowing over closer to the house. So we got to work tidying it all up, cleaning things up, getting rid of some stuff. Some stuff it was just time to get rid of completely. Other stuff I worked on managing and organizing better, like all my greenhouse and low tunnel plastic that we stretched out, measured the various pieces, and marked them with their measurements. Then after that, we tag the measurements so that way we can quickly and easily know the sizes for each piece. Then after that, we folded them up and put them away neatly with a weight holding them down so they won't blow away. Just like that. See here at different sizes, easily just look for the black tag on each of them. Black tag, like that. You're awesome. Fantastic.
You're welcome.
Alrighty. Just what I need.
Clean the cow manure.
Yeah, I need. Just what we need right there. Alrighty.
You're adding to my workout. I'd already lifted weights and gone for my walk, and now you got me shoveling stuff. See, I already have, let's see how many steps I already have for today. Oh, I already have 5,800 steps for today. So making me do more.
And making me do farmer's walk, carrying this poop around. We need it. There we go. Yeah. All right. With homesteading, it is so easy to have multiple piles of stuff that you just acquire and you just plan to use for another time. But sometimes it just sits there. Sadly, this is one of my piles right here. Got some scrap metal in here from when I did some work on the yurt, and I'm like, oh, we'll keep this. Like some of this material here, it's like, oh, we got some gutter stuff. I'll figure out how to use it at some point. Hey, doesn't cost anything, right? Well, sometimes never comes. So let's get rid of some of this. Fireproofing my homestead is something I haven't really thought much about until here recently. There's still other things that I would like to do to help reduce the risk of everything burning up in the event of a wildfire coming to my neighborhood, but we've been gradually doing what we can do now, like cleaning up items from around our home. And back here at the forest line behind our home, we now have more than 20 feet of clear space. And that scrubby brush that the boys helped cut down, I took it away from zone 1, 2, and 3. And dumped it in the area that I plan to burn later on. And as we're wrapping up, I also watered the compost pile really well to get it activated and going. And it's crazy how dry it is. That area that we had worked in, I later went back to use the blower on it, and it was just so dusty. Man, we need some rain. And as I've been recording this video, I've just been thinking that the boys and I have really been doing a lot of work together here lately. In addition to cleaning up around the home, we also were cleaning up near our livestock, near your cows, to clean up all the different fallen trees and trees that we had felled. And these kind of tasks are important to do as well with reducing the chances of wildfires spreading. And if you're on a property with trees, I highly recommend having a chainsaw and a log ox. Both of these tools come in handy for doing these types of jobs. And all the wood that I cut up, the boys helped me with stacking them away from the woods and other flammable materials. And some of the medium-sized pieces and things that could be used for kindling, Micah gathered those up for us to use for heating our home. And all the scraggly stuff, well, before the burn ban, we burned all that stuff up. So that's what we've been doing here lately to prepare our homestead for the potential of wildfires coming closer to our home.
Yeah, because it's not normal for us to have wildfires. And I've lived here in the same area for 43 years, and I don't ever remember any wildfires around here. Now, in the mountains, yes, but not here. So for you guys that deal with this on a regular basis, do you have any tips and tricks that you can offer our audience? If so, leave them in the comment section below.
Yeah, and I even saw in Charlotte where they had some fires that popped up, and that's really unusual.
Yeah, but it has been so dry, and it's been really windy lately, so all that contributes to all of these wildfires.
But we do have rain in the forecast, and hopefully that rain will just water everything down, and then hopefully the burn ban will go away so we can get back to doing some of the things that we normally do here. All right, let's do this.
Micah, redo.
Let's do that. Okay, one guy here, one guy there. Let's do this. Ready? Go. Oh, that was interesting.
I popped your knuckle.
Shut up.